Okay, function operations. Let's put the fun in function. Okay, so given f of x and g of x, find each new function and state its domain. So to do this, we're given these two functions, and the operations in math, that's just like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, okay? So if we are asked to do f plus g of x, well, that is the same exact thing of saying f of x plus g of x. Okay, so f of x is x squared plus x. G of x is 3x minus 1, which if I add those, we're just going to combine like terms. So that's going to be x squared, x plus 3x is 4x, and then the minus 1. We have already done that before. Okay, we're not going to worry about this domain stuff. Okay, f minus g of x. Well, that's the same as saying f of x minus g of x. So then that's going to be x squared plus x minus 3x minus 1. So I'm going to distribute that subtraction sign in. And that's going to be a negative 3x plus 1. And then we can just combine like terms. So that's x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay. F times g of x, well, if we had to guess, we're probably going to multiply them, right? So f of x times g of x. So that's going to be x squared plus x times 3x minus 1. So let's use the box here. I'm going to actually write this out. So if we, one second. I want to pull the answer up here so we can double check ourselves. But if we use the box here, this is going to be x squared plus x, and this is going to be 3x minus 1. So this will be 3x cubed, 3x squared, negative x squared, and negative x. So there's that 3x cubed. Combine those two, I get the 2x squared, and then the negative x. And then the last one, divide them. So if we have f of x divided by g of x, that's going to be x cubed plus x divided by 3x minus 1. And for our purposes, we are just going to leave it right there. Okay? Pretty straightforward, hopefully. Let's get into function composition. So this is a little bit trickier, not too bad though. Basically what that's saying is it's like this function machine. So if we have this written as g of f of x, what that's saying is we're going to take the f of x function and plug it into g. And then we're just going to simplify it down. Okay. So here, I've got functions inside of functions inside of functions. We have f of g of 3. So I always rewrite this. So this right here is going to be going into that. So we can rewrite this as f of g of 3. Always rewrite it, okay? So f of g of 3, which means I need to find out what g of 3 is first. So g of 3, if I plug 3 into that, I get 4. So then that becomes f of 4, since g of 3 was 4. And then I'm going to do f of 4, which if I plug 4 into that, I get negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8, which the absolute value of negative 8 is positive 8. Okay, let's do another one. So g of f of negative 5. So I can rewrite that as g and then f of negative 5. So that means I need to find what f of negative 5 is first. And you end up getting absolute value of negative 2 times negative 5, which is the absolute value of 10, which is 10. So this is going to be g of 10. And then I can just plug 10 into the g function, so 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay. Let's do this one. So f of x equals x squared plus 5x. G of x equals the square root of x minus 4. So let's look at this little cartoon thing down here. So if we have f of x and g of x, and they're like these cartoon characters here. So this one is saying that we're putting g of x into f of x, which is why he has that shape, but he has this coloring. Okay, and then same thing here. This one is saying we're putting f of x into g of x, which is why it looks like that. Okay, not that it really matters. It's just kind of another visual. But so f of g of 9, well, let's say that that's the same thing as f of g of 9. I always rewrite it. The second one, this one, makes more sense to my brain than this one does. Okay, so here, g of 9, well, the square root of 9 minus 4, that's the square root of 5. So I'm just going to leave it as the square root of 5. So then this is going to be f of the square root of 5. So if I plug in the square root of 5 to the f function, that's going to be the square root of 5 squared plus 5 square roots of 5, which the square root of 5 squared is just 5, and then 5 square roots of 5 will stay 5 square roots of 5. So our answer would be 5 plus 5 square roots of 5. Okay. This one, so g of f of 7. So that means I'm going to do g of f of 7. So I'm going to plug 7 into the f function. And I get 7 squared plus 5 times 7, which is 84. And then I'm going to plug that into the g function. So g of 84 would be 84 minus 4, which is 80. Which if you break that down, it'd be 4 square roots of 5. If you leave it at the square root of 80, that's okay. But if we want to know how to break this down, we would just make a factor tree. So this would be like 2 and 40, 2 and 20, 2 and 10, 2 and 5. So we have those two. So this would be 2, because I pull out that one, times 2 times the square root of 5, because this is what's left. 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 4 square roots of 5. Okay. Okay, let's do these ones. So these ones we're not actually given numbers, we're just given the x. So f of g of x, well, that's the same thing as f of g of x. So then I'm going to take the g of x function, this, and I'm going to plug it into the x on the f function. So then this becomes x squared minus 4 plus 7, which would be x squared plus 3. So if we're asked to find g of f of x, well, that's going to be g of f of x. So I'm plugging in the x plus 7 to the g function. So that's going to be x plus 7 squared minus 4, which x plus 7 squared, to get this, remember x plus 7 squared means we have x plus 7 times x plus 7. So you can either use distribution or the box. So x plus 7, so this is x squared, 7x, and 49. Which is where we get this from. And then 49 minus 4 is 45. So there's our final answer. Okay, let's do this one. So g of f of x, so that means I'm plugging g of x into f. So that's going to be f of x over x plus 1, which is going to be 3 minus x over x plus 1. Which, okay, this is getting into some complicated stuff, but we need to get a common denominator here. So if this has an x plus 1 on the bottom, the left side I need to get an x plus 1 on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply by x plus 1 to top and bottom. So I get 3x plus 3 over x plus 1 minus x over x plus 1. Then we can combine those to be 2x plus 3 over x plus 1. Okay, I don't think I will give you a hard problem like that one. But if we do g of f of x, so we're plugging f of x into g. So I'm plugging 3 minus x into the g function. So that's going to be 3 minus x over 3 minus x plus 1, which is going to be 3 minus x over 4 minus x. And then that's all we can do. Okay? It's not goodbye. It's I'll see you later. I miss you guys. Bye.